Welcome to YOUCANIC. Today here in YOUCANIC we have a 2011 Cadillac STS, and on this Cadillac STS our check engine light happens to be on and it takes a little bit longer to start, and so we are going to check our light and the check engine light and see what it's telling us is wrong, or potentially what part possibly could be wrong. So we're going to go through the we've got our OBD2 scanner hooked up. This is YOUCAN-1, which this scanner will read our ECU. We're going to go into diagnostic. Now it's communicating with the ECU. It confirms with us that our check engine light is on. And then we're going to read the codes, and our stored codes are a P0010, and that is a camshaft positioned actuator circuit in open in bank 1. So there's going to be, it's a camshaft position actuator, sometimes referred to as the VVT. It's a variable valve timing, right? One of the A has saying it could potentially have gone bad, or we've got some other problems. But we'll start by replacing the sensor, and then if in a week or more it comes back on, then we'll know that we got to look into more things to do, which would be more like a big timing chain and all types of other stuff to do there. But first let's go and go through the process of replacing that sensor, and then we'll come back to you. This is a V6 motor with the 3.6 liter displacement. So being a V6 motor, we have bank 1 over here, and we have bank 2 be the driver's side or your right hand as you're looking at the engine. Bank 1, we have our 2 cam sensors, and this is cam A and cam B, and the same thing with this VVTs, or otherwise the actuator. We have bank A and we have B, right? So we have A that is going off, and so we're going to go over the process. It would be to replace A. We're going to start with the sensor first. If there would be anything worse, then it's telling you something, components are going wrong on the inside, being the timing chain inside is not aligned right, or it is getting too worn, where you would need to replace that. So this side is easier to get to. There is a plastic cover that covers this, and so you would remove that. The other side is fairly similar. Everything's the same, except that you would need to remove a few other things. If it was in bank B, right, which is this side, you would want to move this away. There's a bracket you'll need to remove that holds this some vacuum pump deal that's under your power steering pump, and then once you remove that, then you'll get more access to get to your camshaft position actuators. So still not hard to do, just a few more things to remove on bank B. Okay, so back to bank A, we are going for this sensor right here, because that is sensor 1 right there. So you're going to squeeze the clip, and these clips, if they've been on there a long time, they're hard to squeeze to get them to release. And then we're going to pull out, and then we're going to undo this bolt here, which is a size 10. Now we should be able to move it. This we just have to rock, and now we can pull this sensor out. We're getting stuck on that clamp. Just reposition that clamp if needs be, and now we should be able to pull this out. And so if you, and there's also a seal in there you may need to replace or look into replacing as you replace this. They're all the same. Every single, there's 4 of these total. Like I said, this is number 1 and number 2. If you're replacing any of them, they're all the same. There's not a difference between them. and so you would just remove and then reinstall. Check your seal, or potentially replace that seal at the same time also. So you take your new VVT or camshaft sensor actuator and just reinstall. I coat it with some fresh oil to be able to slide in through that seal, because we didn't replace the seal, but you can. The seals are very cheap. And slide that back in there, and then you'll put your number 10 bolt in. And tighten it. Make your electrical connection by just clipping it together. And now we'll delete the code and start and make sure that that doesn't come right back on. If it comes right back on, you know you've got a big problem. Otherwise, you're going to drive for a week or more and make sure that it doesn't come on immediately. So we've got our scanner hooked up. We're going to erase the code. It clears out the code. And now turn it off. Start, make sure it doesn't come right back. Maybe do that once or twice. Goes through all the cycles, you know. And we can see it looks pretty well. So now you'll drive for a while, you know, a week, give it some time, make sure that the codes doesn't come back. If it does, then you're going to need to be looking at something deeper. There's more than one thing that could cause that to go off. There's frayed wiring, some critters have maybe eaten the wire, or the actual timing is getting off. But you can start with the sensor, they're cheap, and then go from there. Thanks for watching YOUCANIC, where you can be the mechanic.